Adani Group, an Indian multinational conglomerate headquartered in Ahmedabad. Basically, talking about its foundation, it was founded by Gautam Adani in the year 1988 as a commodity trading business. And a commodity trading business are those which involves some commodities like metals, oil, with the flagship company Adani Enterprises. The group's diverse business includes port management, electric power generations, transmission, renewable energy, mining, transport operations, natural gas, food processing, and infrastructures. Talking about his rise, Gautam Adani began the year as one of the richest men who ever lived. An upstart billionaire whose conglomerate, one of the India's largest, had surged in value by 2,500% in 5 years. That rise, as he portrayed it, wasn't his alone. It was inseparable from the growth story of India's itself. As mentioned, his company's goals were in lockstep with the country's needs, he often said. Relying on his long-standing partnership with India's powerful leader, Narendra Modi, he brought his private companies, spanning power, ports, food, and more, into alignment with one politician more closely than any business titan before him.
He is India's richest individual and the world's third richest man. His empire is India's biggest global story, and he's our newsmaker of the year.
You are a first-generation entrepreneur. Who is your mentor? Who do you look up to?
Dhirubhai Ambani is a source of inspiration for millions of entrepreneurs in India. I am deeply inspired by him. Gautam Adani is a product of a democratic India. Queuing up has never been a part of Adani's culture.
Inside the mind of the reclusive billionaire.
According to the current situation, in a spectacular fashion, the fortunes of his Adani's groups are crashing down even more faster than they shot up. A collapse whose pain will be felt across the country. It has been seen rippling through its economic and political spheres. Adani's wealth, that is more than $110 billion in market value, roughly half of the Adani's group worth, has vanished in just over a week, like air from a burst balloon. According to the Hindenburg research, the pinprick was a report by a small New York investment firm whose description of brazen accounting fraud and stock manipulation sent investors fleeing, just as the Adani Group was beginning of sales of new shares to investors. India's biggest ever secondary share offering has suffered. Adani took cover, wrapped itself in nationalism as a defense, calling the report a calculated attack on India and on the independence, integrity, and quality of India's institutions. In contrast with above mentioned,
After a fully subscribed FPO, yesterday's decision of his withdrawal would have surprised many. But considering the volatility of the market seen yesterday, our board strongly felt that it would not have been morally correct to proceed with the FPO. In my humble journey of over 4 decades as an entrepreneur, I have been blessed to receive overwhelming support from all stakeholders and particularly the investor community. It is important for me to confess that whatever little I have achieved in life is due to the faith and trust reposed by them. I owe all my success to them. For me, the interest of my investor is paramount and everything is secondary. Hence, to insulate the investors from potential losses, we have withdrawn the FPO. This decision will not have any impact on our existing operations as well as our future plans. We will continue to focus on timely executions and delivery of projects. The fundamentals of our company are very strong. Our balance sheet is healthy and assets robust. Our EBITDA levels and cash flows have been very strong, and we have an impeccable track record of fulfilling our debt obligations. We will continue to focus on a long-term value creation, and growth will be managed by our internal accruals. Once the market stabilizes, we will review our capital market strategy. We have a strong focus on ESG, and every business of ours will continue to create value in a responsible way. The strongest validation of our governance principles comes from several international partnerships we have built across our different entities. I take this opportunity to thank our investment bankers, institutional investors, and shareholders from within and outside the country for giving unflinching support to the FPO. Despite the volatility in the stock over the last week, your faith and belief in the company, its business, and its management has been extremely reassuring and humbling for all of us. We are very confident that we will continue to get support in the future also. Thank you again for your trust in us. Jai Hind.
The Congress on March 7 raised questions about Adani Group's operations in the power sector and alleged that it was powering the BJP's electoral fortunes at the expense of Indian consumers. Mr. Ramesh claimed that in February 2020, Adani Electricity Mumbai raised $1 billion in foreign debt from Asian investors, possibly including Chinese entities, and the senior secured notes were listed on the Singapore Stock Exchange. This debt issue reportedly plagued the company's entire equity capital and accepted stiff conditions that gave these Asian bondholders first claim on movable and immovable properties, book debts, operating cash flows, receivable, and present and future revenues. These lenders also hold the rights to Adani electricity transmission and distribution licenses that had been granted by the Maharashtra Electricity Regulatory Commission, Mr. Ramesh allied.
Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more JMIT reports.